Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the 19th hole. We are live on In Between Media. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the whole channel, and jingle that bell for notifications. We are sports, we are lifestyle, and everything in between. Hope you enjoyed the IBT Classic Golf Tournament at the Fantasy Football Expo in Canton, Ohio over the weekend. Shout out to everybody who put that together, namely our fearless leader, Seth Woolcock. We're going to jump right into the second round of the PGA Tour playoffs. We're going to the BMW Championship in the crab cake state. Crab cakes and football. That's what we do in Maryland, apparently. I have a lot of friends in Maryland, but we're going to the BMW at Caves Valley Golf Club in Owings Mills, Maryland. We're fresh off of a Justin Rose playoff victory over JJ Spaun. Sorry. Wow. JJ Spaun lost to Justin Rose in the playoffs. We had a little heckling to go with Tommy Fleetwood again. Join us right after the drum here. Oh, man, I even forgot to add Conor here. Man, oh, man. I'm on a roll today. Conor.
You are crushing it. I'm not sure if it was after the jump, the drop. I'm not sure what
it was. The drum.
Maybe we'll get drunk.
Thank you for staying with us through that bumbling intro. Conor Coughlin is here with me. How did you enjoy the Justin Rose victory?
I think I'm more happy that he beat out JJ Spaun. I don't know. Kind of indifferent.
We didn't have either one of those guys on our cards, so I was thinking to myself, I was like, good for them. Not great for me. It was another lackluster effort on the betting front for this week, but we got two more left.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was all over Scotty. I mean, you kind of remember that from last week. Even at short odds, I
didn't quite have enough.
No, and then this is typical, but it didn't bite me in the butt this time. Wasn't on Tommy this week. I think it's like the first week, and I don't know how long that I wasn't on Tommy, and he was right there. Would have loved to see him get it done, but
shout out to our guy there, Jamie Pirog. He's our Browns fan. Browns expert. I think if there's anybody who's gone through that much Browns fandom without checking out completely, kudos to that guy. We love Jamie on the show. Great guy.
Similar plague over here with the Vikings fandom.
Oh, you got every fan. There's only a few fan bases that don't have a lot of like, oh, woe is me. The Vikings never winning a Super Bowl. The Browns they've just been the worst. And then my Cowboys, who haven't won anything since I was 9 years old, and I was one of two Cowboys fans in my entire hometown. I remember Super Bowl 30 vividly. It was 30 years ago, and ever since it's been absolute disappointment. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, Jamie's 25 years, Conor 45, 50 years of disappointment. Gary Anderson, and yeah, every time I bring up Gary Anderson, he cringes a little bit to a ball. He had missed all season. I remember that game. I loved Robert Smith and Randy Moss, and obviously Chris Carter. And was Cunningham the quarterback that year? I believe he was.
I think you're right.
Because that was the Moss year, 98.
And you know what the sad thing is not this isn't a football show, but the sad thing is I think we really had all the right pieces maybe to make a run here, but I don't know if it's McCarthy. I don't know.
All the guys that and all the guys we bet on last week were kind of there for a little while. They hung around, and they just didn't have enough to push it over the finish line for us. That was unfortunate to watch. But Justin Rose, man, that guy has been nails this year, and everybody wants to say, "Oh, he's 45 years old." I'm like, so. Like, I know guys that are in their 70s and 80s playing the best golf of their life right now. And it's all about what kind of groove you get into. Justin Rose has gotten into a groove this season where this is the most unflappable guy. He's got the clutch gene, unlike his countryman Tommy. Justin Rose knows how to close it out. When he's there, he finishes. And that was an impressive finish to his final round to get into that playoff with JJ Spaun and then outlasting him. What was it? Three playoff holes. Well, Spaun, poor JJ. JJ has lost in 2 playoffs this year now.
We're gonna have nothing to talk about in the news.
I know.
What are you drinking tonight, Bo?
Eagle Rare 10.
I think we're in trouble because I think it's already getting you a little, and I'm on some Peerless, so this should be a good show.
Oh, this is gonna be fun! It's the playoffs, guys. I hope you're enjoying it. Yes, and we did meet Jamie. I met you a couple years ago in Canton. It's not a very far trip for Jamie there at the expo, but I met him 2 years ago at the expo, and he apparently went back. I was not there in attendance this year. I had other commitments, but it was great 2 years ago, and I'm sure it was just as great this year with IBT running the show. It's an IBT.
We tried doing a football show with me involved for a little while on this network. It did not go well, so my attendance at the Fantasy Football Expo is not what you want or need. Maybe for the golf tournament next year. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. It's time to get to the news. What do you say, Connor? Should we at least cover the news a little bit already?
Yeah, we could just continue. Yeah.
All right. It was smelling of roses over the weekend at the FedEx St. Jude Championship in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to our pals over there in West Tennessee listening on the radio tonight. 101.5 FM talking West Tennessee. Memphis, shout out along that Mississippi River. It's fun. That's a fun piece of the country. Great barbecue. And Justin Rose, no stranger to barbecuing the field. How is that performance, especially Sunday when he really needed a strong round to put himself in that position?
It's just crazy. I mean, you already talked about it, but he's got just that clutch gene. You know, you're just I'm watching him stand over each one of those putts on 18 in the playoff, and just
those
thinking
tough putts, but you just knew he's going to make it.
Yeah, there's just never a doubt in your mind. I mean, just such a confident stroke, such a confident, like, just swagger about him. And you know, you feel a little bit bad for JJ Spaun. I mean, you know, a couple playoffs this year, he's had to stare down Rory McIlroy, who was maybe the most confident we've seen him in years in that playoff.
At the Players, no less. That stage is massive.
And then he's staring down the barrel of Justin Rose, who, I mean, darn near puts it in the water in the first playoff hole and comes up and just hits an absolute dart.
What a shot.
Falling in the water.
What a shot. Like, his stance was so awkward. I thought he was going to fall back into the water because his stance was so awkward. And it just, like, find the center of the club face and get it going where it needs to go. And that's what he did. It was great touch. And the way he kept his base stable through that shot so that he didn't mishit it, because a mishit on that shot would make it even worse.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely expected him to kind of, you know, fall forward a little bit, push it right, kind of out towards the grandstands. Right. And yeah, absolute pure shot, held it stable. I mean, I thought that was going to end it too. I mean, Spaun dropped a couple of long putts to keep it going, and
my clumsy butt would have definitely fallen in the water.
100%.
My truck's beeper is on right now. Like, beep. Beep. You can't stop it once it gets going.
Dude, by the 18th hole, especially that being the, in essence, 19th hole, you know how many cocktails I've had in a round? I wouldn't have been able to, like, set up behind the ball. I'd have fallen in just setting up.
Yeah. We're gonna adjust the ball, practice swing, and I'm wet.
But I think it was a good playoff. I think it was entertaining enough. I mean, I gotta say, I'm not a massive fan of either guy involved, so I was pretty indifferent.
I felt the same.
Always nice to see JJ Spaun take a break from wandering Middle Earth to come and compete in a tournament. So
that's so true. He just looked like a hobbit. I've seen the guy in person, and it's not a knock. It's just like, it is what it is. The dude's a short, stocky guy with a lot of, like, he's got the skin for it, the hair. Yeah, I get it. And if he's got hairy, oversized feet, then it would make even more sense.
I mean, the facial hair is any indicator. I'm thinking it's pretty.
He might not be a hobbit, but he might be a Harfoot. All right. Tommy and JJ, we talked about a little bit, kind of finding a real groove, automatically qualifies for the Ryder Cup now. Congratulations to JJ Spaun. What a crazy season he's had, hitting a different gear than he's ever found in his entire golfing career. It's been a really good season for JJ, and that's an honor to click in and not have to worry about Keegan Bradley picking you for the team. He's on the team right now, and even though he lost in that playoff, he's well in position to make a run at the BMW, and of course he's very near automatic qualifier status for the Tour Championship with his season. But Tommy Fleetwood, my goodness, man. 64-65 start, 4-shot lead. We're thinking, oh, Tommy, if he's going to win a la Cameron Young, he's going to have to run away with it a la Cameron Young. And he was in position to do exactly that with a 64-65 start, and he gave it back. He only went 1 under on Saturday and then completely flatlined on Sunday, especially after he made a couple birdies on 12 and 13. The rest of the round, I was thinking, oh, Tommy should win this thing. Like, he's right there, tied for the lead. He even was outright up by 1 shot, and he gets a 17 and bogeys it, but loses 2 shots to JJ Spaun in that swing. And Rose as well. It was 2-shot swing on 17. That was devastating for Tommy Fleetwood. And then on 18, he was just all over the place trying to be aggressive and give himself one final chance to crack 15 under, get into that playoff. And he bungled that hole too. But the story of Tommy Fleetwood is the same story every stinking time. He is snake bit. He just gets it in his head. You could tell he was nervous. You could tell he wasn't sitting straight over the ball. Like, he was nervous. He was folding right before our very eyes, and that's not the first time this has happened.
Yep, I completely agree. And I don't know if what happens with him when he gets some kind of a lead is that he tries to play just like steady golf. I don't know what it is, and he just, like, there's something that changes dynamically the minute he gets a lead, and you can call it nerves and choking, but I don't think that's what it is in the 3rd round where he shot a 69 as well. I think the 4th round, sure, it's nerves. He kind of choked coming down the stretch.
The 3rd round was like he was supposed to be coasting by continuing to make birdies and keeping pace with the rest of the field. When you shoot 69, you're losing shots to the field because the average scoring was lower than that on that day. And on Sunday, it's more of the same. You lose if you gain 3-4 shots on the field over your first 2 rounds. You still have to keep at least maintain that level and don't lose ground. And he lost ground on Saturday, and then he gave it up completely on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just trying to do rough math, but I'd say the top 10 after round 3. I mean, I think the average was like 64 and a half.
Yeah,
something like that.
69's bad. Like, he gave up his cushion on one day.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think Tommy Fleetwood's a great guy. I think I can't imagine the immense amount of pressure that he's under anytime he's even sniffing the lead. And so, yeah,
here we go again. Is probably was singing. Oh, here we go again. Like, he's got the right attitude for handling failure, or coming up short at least that much. Like I wouldn't call a runner-up finish a failure or a top 5 a failure by any stretch. He still made over $1 million, and he's still in the top 5 in the FedEx Cup. So he's pretty much locked into next week as well, no matter what happens this week. Tommy Fleetwood's still a force, even though he's not winning anything. He's always there.
And I mean, it's a hot take, but I have this feeling that at the Tour Championship, I think maybe we got a shot with Tommy there. I think
I like him. I do like him at East Lake, but I still probably I don't think I've bet on Tommy Fleetwood to win outright since 2023.
Well, I have multiple times this year.
Yes, so. and how's that going for you, Conor?
Well, we'll just say at this point, I think I'd have to bet $1 million at whatever short odds we get him at
to catch a break.
But
just even out.
We're pulling for him. I'm pulling for him. I don't think this week's going to be anything monumental, but East Lake, I really think we're going to see some fireworks with Tommy. I really do.
I agree. All right, let's talk about this golf course. We saw it 4 years ago at this rotating BMW Championship Rota. But let's have a little poetry, a little snap poetry with our guy Conor Coughlin about Caves Valley in Owings Mills, Maryland. All right, Conor, take it away.
One of these days, I'm going to get you to stop hyping this so much. All 4 sentences sputter. Caves Valley Golf Course, Owings Mills, Maryland. Par 72, yardage is 7,542. Fairways are bent, greens are bent. The tournament was last held here in 2021. There have been some minor additions made in the way of bunkering and narrowing of typical landing areas. And some things have done to make some of the approach shots look a little more daunting, but really, truly nothing monumental has changed. This course is on the longer side. Even with some of these challenging looks, I do think we are going to get some favor towards the bombers. Really, really want bombers with accuracy, though. There is some trouble left, right. Some of the misses here are not great. But they should be able to fly a lot of these pinched points. The shorter hitters are going to have to contend with them a bit more, but there's quite a few looks that, people like Rory McIlroy are going to be able to fly no problem. So you do additions, you pinch the fairways in. It's not going to make near the difference that maybe one would think. So the front 9 is likely going to play a little more difficult. It's tree lined. It's got a little more dangerous kind of terrain, especially on some of the left sides of the fairway, some pretty severe drop-offs into wooded areas. So I would look for the front 9 to be a little bit tougher. The back 9 is way more open, but incorporates a ton of water. There's water hazards on 5 of the 9 holes. So that's something to think about. The rough has grown up here, but the fairways are still going to be a little bit on the generous side. Green complexes are tricky. They're going to definitely be fast, especially with the weather the way it's going to be. They're definitely more wide than they are deep in most instances, especially when you look at the way the par 3s are laid out. So that imposes some challenges. Yeah, they're long. They're longer for sure.
There's 2 really long ones.
Yeah, and then there's a par 3, and I think it's the 4th hole. It's 3rd or 4th hole. I can't remember now off the top of my head.
The 3rd is 197.
And that one's long. It's also got kind of almost like a false front to the left side of the green that actually funnels towards the water that's right there. And there's very, very little green over there to play with before you start sloping into the water. So I think that's a pretty tricky hole. Really probably going to see a lot of guys trying to play kind of a cut coming in over the water. So any left pin position there is going to be pretty tricky for a lot of these guys.
I'm going to update you on the scorecard here. Official scorecard this year is a par 70 at 76.01. So it's longer by a little bit, and they changed the sixth hole, or no, sorry, not the sixth hole. The second hole, which was a par 5, is now a 525-yard par 4, and hole number 14 was a short par 5. Now it's a 469 par 4. So par 70, 7601 changes the scorecard, but not the scoring. So you're still looking at rounds of 64, 65 around here. 25 under par is not unheard of. And
it was 27 in 2021. And so you think it was a par 72 then. If it dropped it down to a par 70, I think you're right on the money, 25-ish.
Yeah. And I think that 25 under par it's not going to be 27 again like it was when Cantlay and DeChambeau lit this place up. But there were also 7 golfers under par for the tournament. That's a birdie fest, folks. That's the Detroit Golf Classic. That's your John Deere Classic. That's premium scoring conditions on this golf course. Just because they change how many strokes is par doesn't make this any more difficult.
No, and I really don't think it is. I mean, honestly, like some of the stuff I talked about, it's a little tricked up. But I mean, as long as you're accurate off the tee, you got a fair amount of distance, and you look good on approach. This is the
ball strikers course for sure.
Yeah, I think more so than previous weeks. I think a lot hinges on the off the tee. Like I put a lot of weighting into strokes gained off the tee this week.
Me too. I added driving distance because that really makes a difference here.
Yep, for sure. And then like the left and right miss percentages, things like that. Like I looked a lot into off the tee game here. A lot of your usual suspects are going to fall into the same category on approach where they're in that elite tier, but the driving metrics really do kind of separate some of those guys out a little bit. So I think that's about all I know about this place. I mean, I think it's a good watch. I think there's probably going to be a little bit amount of drama. You got some guys on the bubble trying to get into next week. So
yeah, this is an Atlantic Coast special course. It's completely bent grass. It's going to be hot and humid. It's a Tom Fazio, which just means it's a really straightforward, basic design and just challenges you to hit good shots. And on this course 4 years ago, lots of guys hit a lot of good shots and they lit this place up. And it was lift clean in place. They were playing the ball up that week because of the rainfall, which made the course a little easier. But it's not going to be that much tougher this year. Maybe a 2 to 3 strokes difference, more difficult at most. This is still going to be a birdie fest with a lot of great players coming in extremely hot that we're going to bet on. What do you say, Connor?
Love where your head's at. Let's get it.
Ooh, yeah.
Wild. That is wild. With the update to the par 70.
Yeah.
I wonder when they updated that officially, because like literally I checked it this afternoon. It was 72.
Yeah. And this morning I heard that from Pat Fitzmaurice. I didn't think to ask him where he got that information because everything I saw was the same as last time, but with a few more yards. And then when he said that, I looked it up. And I found a source. It was official PGA Tour source where they updated the official scorecard, and it was exactly what Pat said. So I don't know where he got it. He got it earlier than everybody else. And so
yeah.
It doesn't change much other than I think we're going to be even more leaning into ball strikers. Top of the board, the best 2 ball strikers on planet Earth: Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. The problem with Scheffler is just his odds again, plus 230. This guy is as good as it gets off the tee and on approach. So are we expecting Scottie to be there again? Top 5 lock? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. But I think at face value, I'd rather bet on Rory McIlroy at plus 700 because he's got the distance advantage over Scottie, and his approach game has been just about as good as Scottie's over the last 2 months.
Yeah, he's actually slipped a little too. He's up to plus 750 now as well. So
that's lovely.
yeah, so I'm with you. Like I think Scotty will definitely be right there again, but I don't.
It's a course that requires solid iron play and accuracy off the tee. Check and oh my god, check. Yes, that's Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, and again, number one player in the world, statistically number one player in the world as well. It's not
number one in the model, number one easily in the model.
But yeah, I think that he's bordering on 3 times better than Rory McIlroy in terms of a value bet here. No, I don't.
No, not close. Not even close to that. That's why we're betting on value here, and we're going to get a little more bang for our buck because I think Rory has more upside. Can Rory go 27 under to match Patrick Cantlay and Bryson DeChambeau? Absolutely. I really haven't seen Scotty in a horse race like that. Honestly, he's very good, and his advantage increases on as the courses get more difficult. On easy courses, it's much more equalized to the field.
And to that point too, anytime that Scotty, even this past weekend, was a kind of an example of that. Anytime that he is in any kind of a horse race, he just kind of stays put. I mean, it typically he's going to get outpaced by somebody. If it's neck and neck,
it seems like he presses more, where he's naturally not that aggressive. But when he's not aggressive, he just hits better quality shots and he goes lower. But when he knows he has to go low to keep pace, he presses harder. And when he actually feels like he's getting more aggressive, that's when we see the mistakes that he made in Memphis. Even though he finished top 5, what killed him from having a chance to win was just the simple mistakes where he was a little bit too aggressive and didn't think about how much that ball was not going to spin or roll out on a longer iron shot. And his distance control was as bad as I've seen it all season, because that's usually what he's the tippy top elite at.
Yeah, I mean, he can hit it to a spot without any question. But to your point, it seems like he's just easy going, loving every second, no big deal if I win or lose, when he's absolutely just going away.
But he's that meme with the guy leaning forward in his chair with the video game controller. Like, he's got to get serious.
Yeah.
And it's fun to watch guys who naturally make a lot of birdies, just like Scotty does, when the courses aren't quite as difficult. I love the leveling of the playing field that this course is going to provide, because again, 7 players 4 years ago were at 20 under par or better, including the 2 guys who duked it out in a 6-hole playoff, Bryson DeChambeau and Patrick Cantlay, with Cantlay finally outlasting him. My next favorite guy is not down. He's down a little bit longer. Do you have anybody else you're betting on in that kind of 10 to 15, 20 range?
Not on the card yet, but I was actually kind of surprised when I ran that driver-centric model that I sent over to you at how well Xander rated out.
Yeah, he's number three in mine.
And so I'm
surprising, but also that could be something we look a little deeper into.
And I certainly think if I'm gonna bet Xander this year, this would be the spot I would do it in.
Yeah, because a pure driver of the golf ball like he is, with his approach game as solid as it is, Xander's the guy with no holes in his game. He might not be elite in more than a couple this year, because he's kind of slacked off in certain areas at times, especially with the injury to start the season, and then just kind of being up and down throughout the season after that. Xander, though, he rates out really well in my model. It's number 3. It's sexy. It's Scotty, Rory, Xander, Keegan, which is surprising. But
yeah, Keegan popped for me a little bit too.
Yeah.
I
don't hate it.
Xander, I think Xander, I'd have a buy recommendation out there. Just in transparency, I haven't pulled the trigger yet, just because I haven't bet him all year. It's worked out for me. Yeah. But this is a spot where it is looking like a really good situation for him. And statistically, even with the kind of lackluster finishes, he's still rating out really, really well. So I likely will pull the trigger on this pretty quick. I got FOMO creeping in now. I'm like, the one time I'm thinking Xander and I don't pull the trigger. So
Yeah, and I want to like JT at 22-1. I really do. But his off the tee game has been dreadful this year, and everything else is so nice. I'm looking at JT right here at number 8 in my model, and he'd be so much higher if he wasn't 46th in strokes gained off the tee and 31st in bogey avoidance. Like, he's just dying off the tee, and then his putting has suffered. He's 35th in this field and putting on bent. I'm not loving the ancillary stats, but like there's certain things he's amazing at. Like in that approach bucket from 175 to 200, number 1 in this field. So if he can somehow put the ball in the fairway, this guy is a lock to be up there in the top 5. It's just, for me, it's just the glaring weaknesses he's had all season are what we need him to be great at this week.
So I got him at 25-1. He's down to 22-1 I get in transparency. I got him at 25-1 this morning. So he's
okay.
3 points.
I don't hate that as much because it removes a little bit of the uneasy feeling that that's a little short for a guy who doesn't really fit this golf course that well. But one guy who does is our favorite Swede, Ludvig Öberg.
Hold it, because there is one thing I want to say about JT.
Okay.
So your point is valid with the off the tee game most of the season, but what I think is interesting is over the last 4 starts, he's actually gained an average of 1.2 off the tee. So that's coming around. The approach game has been flat, which is the part that I'm gambling on with him this week.
Yeah, is that he finds it back again.
Yeah, and then when you look at the putter too, this was really interesting. Is last week at the St. Jude was the first time in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rounds that he lost strokes putting. He's actually been averaging 2.8 strokes gained putting in his last 10 starts. So it's kind of wild to think about. But if the putter had been there last week and the approach game had even been like to his average,
and we know JT's a solid birdie maker regardless. He's top 10 in birdie or better percentage every time.
So it's food for thought again. I already have it. Like I said, 22 is slightly shorter than I want. I'm with you. I kind of like Öberg here. So I'll let you talk about Öberg.
Öberg's just such a great iron player, and he's accurate off the tee when it requires it, and he does have good length. I just think that ball striker's paradise here at Caves Valley. It really favors those accurate iron players in the mid to 175 to 200. Your mid irons, Ludvig's just as strong as it gets in that category. We don't really have to worry about as much of his scrambling ability and his short game that have really let him down this season. Which at Caves Valley, it's not as important to worry about losing strokes by missing an iron shot. But he's less likely to miss iron shots anyway than the rest of this field. He's really coming around ball striking. He kind of had a really bad stretch on approach, and he's been cracking out of that the last two events. So I just love it. 25-1 for a guy with all that firepower on a golf course that's going to give up a lot of birdies. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm with you on him. I like him here. I think the course is forgiving where he needs it to be.
Yes.
I do get a little bit. I'm a little worried on some of the shorter approach shots, especially the ones around water.
He might be the next Willow Branch like EVR,
but I do like him here. He's coming into good form. He's actually jumped almost 15 spots in my modeling week on week. So so there's some game that's starting to come back into form, and I think when you look at this upper echelon here, I mean, 22 or 25, depending on if you were smart like Bo or dumb like me. I think is still a pretty good number on him.
It's solid. All right. I like Viktor Hovland at 35-1, but I want you to talk me into Cam Young because I'm teetering on the edge. He is terrible in my model, but I just think that the way he's striking the ball right now, and again, just like Ludvig Öberg, doesn't really have to worry about losing shots around these greens. That's the same case you make for Cam Young. But 30-1 is a little short for my liking, which is why I'm on Viktor.
First off, you're not allowed to jump on my Viktor Hovland train, naysayer. Like, I've been on him for a few weeks now.
I know we both like him this week, so I don't want you to get mad about co-liking Viktor this week
I like Viktor this week. What are you
I
talking
know,
about?
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like don't fault me for doing the same thing. I'm co-signing your Viktor take, but I want to believe in Cam Young. I want to believe in his last 2 starts versus what he's put forth the rest of the season before.
So yeah, so the things that I kind of looked at with Cam Young, and it is a little, I don't want to call it recency bias because it's, that's the name of our game here, right?
Exactly. He's hot right now.
form.
He's super hot right now.
But the huge things I looked at with Cam Young are just the ridiculous amounts of strokes he's gained off the tee in the last 2 starts.
He went from 35th to 11th and off the tee in the last 2 weeks.
And if you look at the St. Jude, I mean, I didn't hear his name a whole lot, but he finished 5th and he gained 6.5 strokes off the tee and 3.5 strokes on approach. He also,
he is striping the ball right now.
Our boy continued putting too. He gained 1.5 strokes putting, which is not necessarily the typical thing when he gets the rest of his game going. And normally,
guess where he ranked in strokes gained putting on bent in my model.
I would guess higher than any other surface, but I'm still not guessing it's great.
It's number 12. He's 12th in putting on bent in the last 24 rounds in this field. That should scare everyone because this guy can go off.
And like I said, that's why I knew it was going to be on bent. Bent is by far his best putting surface, and it's not even close. I mean, it is. Yeah,
it's insanely favorable for Cam Young. And the way he's striping it right now, like on approach, he's been so nasty, just absolutely sticking darts in there. And of course, he lit it up, destroyed the field 2 weeks ago. This is another golf course that's going to favor his style of play.
He's got the monkey off his back too, man. Like, I think we're going to start to see Cam Young actually win some golf tournaments. Like,
the starting with this one, maybe 30-1. I'm on the edge. If he slips to 35, I will have to stamp it.
Which I think is, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, I got him at 30. Hovland was what I was thinking that I got 30, at 35, which is what you got at 35.
Yeah, Viktor and you and I are same on Viktor at 35-1. That's just, this course is just perfect for our friend, our Norwegian friend Viktor, because that sweet baby angel loves iron play. And he is as good as it gets on approach. On these types of golf courses, he shoots to the top on courses over 7,400 yards. This guy is a stripe show with the mid and long irons. There's going to be 60% of the approach shots with longer than a 7-iron. That's going to be a huge determining factor in who gains enough strokes on the field to really make some damage on the scoreboard. Viktor Hovland is that guy.
Yeah. No questions, no objections from this side. I've loved him for weeks, so I will absolutely.
I love him so much.
Hey, and
neither one of us love him as much as Linda Lyons does.
That's very true. She likely won't watch this, but
if she does, shout out Linda, because she's loved Viktor longer and harder than everybody else in the world combined.
Some would say the hardest.
Yes, easily. No doubt. Like, she probably likes him more than his own family.
He's a pretty lovable guy, but
he is.
I got another guy at 35 that I really like here. Chris Gotterup. Also,
I don't know about that. I don't know, Jim.
So let me sell you on Chris Gotterup just a little bit. Outside of the fact that he's won this year. It's been quite some time since he missed a cut. Not that matters here, but he had what I would say would be a not good week last week. But prior to that, man, he has been absolutely tearing it up. If you look at going back to the U.S. Open, again, a guy that is gaining 3.5 strokes off the tee in the last 6 starts. And then you look at his approach game, which is not like a hallmark of his game, but up until last week, he had been gaining an average of 1.5 strokes on approach. The putter came to life. You going back to kind of the John Deere, stayed hot all the way until last week. And, with Gotterup, 322 yards off the tee.
He's definitely long. Third longest in the field.
Driving accuracy, sometimes it's cause for concern, but like I said, he's finding a way to get it done because he's gaining a ton of strokes off the tee. I think he's gonna have a little wider fairways to look at here. I know it's a short number for Goddard, but like
Short.
he sets
It
up
is incredibly short. God, I love Goddard so much because he's such a dynamo off the tee. Like he's a weapon off the tee. And his approach game is so much improved in the last few weeks. He's still terrible on approach relative to the field in the last 24 rounds, and his putting is towards the bottom on bent grass. So I am afraid for him at 35-1. It scares the death out of me. I will not be touching him at that price, but if he slips, I will have to look at him because we love wide-bodied, burly men as golfers, and Chris Goddard is one of those dudes that we just can't help but root for. 35-1, my friend, is just too short.
It's not if you think he's going to win, and I think he's got a chance.
Oh, I just don't know.
Yeah, I've got one more guy at 55. It's Harry Hall. Then we can.
Yeah, but we got to talk about my guy right here in the bottom.
Oh God, I skipped right over your dude. I'm sorry.
That's okay because we got to shout him out because he's my boy. Kurt Kitayama, 50-1. And let's see, we need a guy who's great off the tee. Check. Driving distance. Check. He's a great long and mid iron player. Check. And since just starting this year, he's a birdie making machine. Apparently, he went from a grinder only kind of guy to top 5 in birdie or better percentage. 50-1. Ladder that, Kurt Kitayama, and shout out NorCal. No, you're going Harry Hall.
I'm just looking. Objectively, I like Goddard better than Kitayama, but that's not the same odds bracket. So now I'm like
15. That's a 15 difference.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like my bankroll is depleted, so I'm just kind of looking at it like,
ouch.
No, so I love everything you're saying. Kitayama's in great form. I worry about him though because if any part of his game falls out of lockstep here, I mean, he can train wreck with the best of them. And
yeah.
So I don't know. He is playing great golf. That's a good number on him. The birdie making part that you brought up is always a concern for us. Lately, that hasn't been the case. So if he can continue making birdies by the truckload, he could actually compete at 25 under or better. That would be the part that would scare me with him. Yeah. Is the likelihood that continues.
Oh, he's been doing it even without a putter most of the season. He's been making tons of birdies. That's the kind of nuclear option that Kurt Kitayama has become this season. His win a few weeks ago really confirmed his ability to go low with the guys where he would otherwise not really be competitive in those birdie fests. And this year it's been different.
Yeah, I man, might have to go steal a 20 out of my wife's wallet.
It's not stealing if you're married. Say, hey, I'm taking $20 to spend on my NorCal guy, Kurt Kitayama, because he's a winner.
Yeah, I'll think on that one. I mean, Harry Hall, I anticipate a bounce back here. He really has struggled off the tee for a while now. I think he's going to have, this is one of the better opportunities he's got to get right. Sure. The approach game we know can be very hot. The putter is ridiculous.
Yeah, he's just an amazing putter and short game when he needs it.
And then you talk about guys that make birdies by the truckload. I mean, Harry Hall's been doing it pretty much since he was able to walk. He's fifth in this field over the last 36 rounds and birdie or better rate. And this is the best of the best here coming down to the wire. So I mean, these are guys that absolutely pepper birdies, and he's right there in the ring boxing with them. So I really like Harry Hall at 55-1. I think if I hadn't already bet it and I had to decide between him and Kitayama, I'd probably go Harry Hall there if you're between bets.
Ooh, can I have a rebuttal? Because Harry Hall he rated out super well on my first model. And then I decided to curiously filter for courses over 7,400 yards, and Harry Hall's numbers plummeted. This guy is not capable of doing the same things he does to the shorter courses. When the courses get long like this, Harry Hall struggles on approach. He really does, and he's really not that potent off the tee to really gain strokes on longer golf courses. It's just not his game. There was the one stark contrast I found in my modeling was the first one was basically as bland as I could make it. And then here, Harry Hall, of course, pops and birdie or better percentage and putting and all that fun stuff that we're filtering for. But then I hit that filter and it scared me off of him. I ran for the hills.
I think I don't know if I completely agree with you. We don't need to beat the dead horse. He's longer than what you would expect. The longer approach metrics are a little bit tougher, and then
they're bad. They're real bad, dude.
Yeah, but there are some courses that you could find some contrast to that statement too. Within this season. So I think the problem with Harry Hall, honestly, is the volatility that we're seeing at the Wyndham and the St. Jude, where the ball striking goes a little bit cold. And that's more the volatility of Harry Hall. So ball striking between the two, him and Kitayama, probably a pretty close race. Mm-hmm. The putter, it's just not even
definitely
close. Harry Hall,
obviously,
stupid good.
That's like elite versus struggling.
Right. So I don't know. They're both good bets. You're either team Bo this week or your team Conor. I mean, that's the long story short.
And we both like both guys. It's just we have our preferences this week.
I might still bet Kitayama. I might do it.
I know it's really tempting because he's really good. And NorCal's on a hot one right now. Like Fluffy Hernandez, my guy from NorCal. Dude, absolute demolition on Saturday night. Everybody's like, "Oh, Roman Dolidze is so strong and so fast and so powerful."
We just choked him out.
my dude bullied this man for 3 rounds, and then the 4th round he got mad at Roman for cheating. He was grabbing the fence and grabbing his glove, and he even pointed out to the ref Roman lost a point in that 4th round, and Fluffy got so ticked off about him cheating that he just decided to grab his neck and drag him to the middle of the octagon by his neck while he's tapping out, and Herb Dean has to tell him to drop him, and he just drops him. It was just the coldest, most savage way to win a fight, and I just love every minute because that's my guy. That is my friend doing that to another grown man that everybody thought was stronger and more powerful. I was just like, oh, that was too easy.
Never doubted Fluffy for a second. I was all in on Fluffy.
Dude, he blew the man a kiss after smiling through a glancing punch. Unreal stuff. Like, that's a showman.
You should have him on here sometime. Not that it's golf related, it'd just be fun to talk to him.
Oh, he'd be a hoot. We'd have to get the bleeper going though, because he likes the F-bombs.
Maybe we could do a one-off show and just talk to him.
I talk to him all the time.
Well, I don't.
Long shots. It's Taylor Pendrith. Man, what a hot way to go. This guy is just ball striking is on point the last 2 months. And he's gotten a hot putter. And we like hot putters in this event. Taylor Pendrith, traditionally an awful putter, just awful. And this last 3-4 weeks, he's been just dropping stuff. He's making putts. He's seeing the ball go in, and he's got confidence with the flat stick. And so, and 65-1, that's sexy for how much value is there for a guy with all the upside that you need to win this event from this tier.
Loves bent grass.
Yeah, he is a bent magician.
Yeah, I love Pendrith. Love the driving. I mean, the guy can crush the ball. Off the tee has been really good last 36 rounds. Putter's been awesome.
He's long, top 7th in distance.
Yeah, this is a good setup for him here.
It is. I think if Goddard was in this range, I would be all over him and Pendrith. I handicapped Goddard closer to 50-55, honestly, and that's why I was so blown away by the 35 number that it scared me away. But when it came to Pendrith, it was too easy because he's that same powerful guy off the tee that gained so many strokes off the tee, and then he's just dead steam ahead at attacking pins because of how good off the tee he is. This Pendrith guy's got so much upside.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Definitely on the card. Our next guy, we're both the same, although you got him at a way better number than I did.
Sweet. I feel bad for you, but Sam Stevens is catching so much steam right now. It is for good reason. This guy is hot right now. This guy is playing out of his mind in golf. Like, his form is as sharp as it's ever been in his entire life and entering the playoffs. So Sam Stevens, look out. Look out. This guy is a superb ball striker, superb birdie maker, and recently, over the last 3-4 weeks, a superb putter on bent grass.
I will say he can we say defecate on this channel? Because
yes,
he may have done that all over his bed last week. I mean, it's a bad performance. It was last week, but I'm going back to him. To your point, having a lot of tell signs here coming in, especially when you look at what he did at the 3M. You know, that was probably the last like standout performance of the last 3 starts, but 7.8 strokes gained putting, 3.5 around the green, 5.2 from tee to green, finished second.
He's striping it right now. This guy is hot.
Yeah, and I mean, for you at 110, I mean, I think that's a really good value. 90 is a little shorter than I wanted, but he rated out so well for me that I still pulled the trigger on it. So
he's even better on longer golf courses because his long iron and mid iron play is excellent. I'm not with you on Johnny Vegas. I'm sorry. So I know he's great off the tee, but the dude just doesn't show up on these courses for as much distance advantage as he gets being a bomber among the tippy top level of bombers. He scares me on these longer golf courses because his mid-iron game is terrible. Like, in his putter, you don't know from one week to the next if he's going to be flat or lose 10 strokes on the greens.
Yeah, with Johnny Vegas though, he's at 110 to 1. Like, what I was looking at with him is just more like, okay, what's a long shot that has a semi similar version of what I'm looking for here. Yeah. And when Vegas gets it going, it's almost entirely off the tee. Yes. And I think like I said, with this course, you're going to have a few more opportunities to be a little bit wayward. And he's not terribly bad off the tee to begin with, and he bombs the ball. And
he's great off the tee. I have no complaints about his off the tee game.
But like, there's no risk to it either. So the off the tee game should shine here. And then I looked at like his greens and regulation game. Like, he's actually been hitting greens at a really good pace over the last like 36, 42 rounds. Like, he's number 8 in the field. Now, granted, it's not filtered down the way that you absolutely boil it down. To me, it's just a general, view of what's going on. To be 8th in this field and sticking the ball close on the green, I think Johnny Vegas at 110. I mean, why not? I mean, I wouldn't say
he's
that
definitely a wild card. I'll give you that.
Say Taylor Pendrith is a better golfer than Johnny Vegas. Like, I just wouldn't.
They're same tier, I would say. They're same player, basically. Pendrith has just found a hotter putter recently than Johnny has.
Yeah, and you look at the odds. I mean, I'm getting like legitimately double the odds for Vegas.
It's true. And another guy in the same ilk, Ryan Fox, your Kiwi friend. He's the bomber. He loves gaining strokes off the tee, and when his approach game is sharp, he's a dangerous player who can go really low. Ryan Fox, multiple time winner this year because he goes low where a lot of people just can't. Most of this field can't go as low as Ryan Fox can.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Canadian Open, that performance was so ridiculous. I mean, how well he played.
It was just lights out.
And that's as hot as, I mean, he can get that hot. And like, I wouldn't probably tell you that I thought Ryan Fox was a good putter, but going back to the Memorial all the way to current, Ryan Fox is like absolutely killing it with the flat stick. So I don't know. Ryan Fox again, same type of player as guys that we're paying or getting half the odds of. I was looking for a bomber that can get hot, and that's Ryan Fox.
Makes sense. It really does make sense. Well, we got the hat pick ready.
Well, we got the hat. Do I have my numbers in it?
Hat,
I do.
Hat.
The hat has selected. I don't believe that. Number 5. Hideki
Matsuyama. Interesting. We didn't talk about Hideki because his odds were awful. And his off the tee game has been awful. But everything else, honestly, has been pretty good.
Kurt Kitayama is who the hat has selected.
Now you're compelled.
Now
borderline coerced by the show to bet on Kurt Kitayama this week, Connor. It's destiny.
I will say that I moved Kurt Kitayama up 1 because Sepp Straka withdrew. So
by default.
Chris Gotterup was number 5. Kitayama was number 6. So ipso facto.
Yeah, I get it. Well, that makes sense. Okay, winning score, and who will it be?
25 and roars, baby.
24 and roars. All right. Join us next week for the last show of the season, the Tour Championship from East Lake Golf Club in Atlanta. See ya.